Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Straight out of the Scarlet Halls, I'm Slidewhistle.
I am Immunization.
And I'm Heron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Hard Punching Bag.
It's so fucking hot that the heat made our bread moldy. Turn the heat off, please. Thank you.
Wow, like in the fridge?
No, we keep bread on the table in the kitchen, and it's never gotten moldy before. Normally we eat it before then, but the back room is just so fucking hot because our roommate's not here, Glenn, and his AC unit's not on, so it's just a fucking heat box back there. So I'm like, our food, no.
It's also been 90 degrees and humid, so that's probably why as well.
I'm recording basically naked if you want to use your imagination.
Oh, I would do that, but if I did, then our cat would come by and punch me right in the penis, and I can't afford her to know where that weak spot is.
There's nothing worse than coming out of a shower naked and then having your cat look at your ding-dong and be like, oh, that's a toy I can play with, right? No! Get away from me!
I thought you were going to say there's nothing worse than coming out of the shower and immediately sweating, because that's what it's been like for me the last few days.
I thought you were going to say there's nothing like it coming out of the shower and then your cat sees your ding-dong and is like, not impressive.
I thought I was going to say there's nothing like coming out of the shower and then your cat sees your ding-dong and goes, ooh, nice one.
Wow.
All right, well, that covers all
a solid 7 out of 10.
Well, there you have it. This has been episode 75 of Do Not Relent. We'll see you guys next week.
Another down! Do not relent!
Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum.
Talk about a micro measurement, am I right, ladies? Wow, wow.
Wow, wow, oh, wow, wow. Hey, when are we getting Mandalorian Season 2? Do we know? Is there a date for that?
I have no idea.
Never. Baby Yoda actually got sick.
Do you think we're going to get toddler Yoda?
I sure hope so. I hope we get to see the full lifespan of this Yoda, even if it's just him growing in real time while the Mandalorian kicks his little feetsies in the background and watches.
I like that idea. I'm all about that. I'm all about that shit.
Do you think Baby Yoda would swell up if we put him in a glass of water, like one of those little dinosaurs?
Probably. I feel like we never actually seen him get in water, so anything's possible. It's still unwritten lore. Him in water.
I picture him more like one of those dino eggs that, you expose to water and then it grows and then inside of it hatches a little baby dino. So like when he grows, then he hatches and then there's a even tinier, more adorable baby-er Yoda.
Wait, isn't that just giving birth? I feel like this just sounds like birth. Ugh. I don't like the idea of that.
No, you see, every baby Yoda has a baby-er Yoda deep within. When you expose them to water, they grow and then eventually hatch, and then the baby-er Yoda is released.
What happens to Baby Yoda Part 1? Does it just split apart and die to make way for Baby-er Yoda?
You see, Baby Yoda is just a shell.
Wait,
that's what he's been saying in therapy for years.
He's kind of like that acne face that cracks in half in that advertisement that I showed you guys.
Oh, no.
Well, I guess we can talk about the wonderful 101. I was going to say World of Warcraft, but then I was like, that came out for the Switch.
Let's talk about the wonderful 101. It was really clunky to use because people drew the wrong weapon.
That's really all there is to say. I mean, Wonder Red, Wonder Blue. I don't remember any other Wonders.
Wonder Pink was removed from Super Smash Bros. As a trophy because she wears a skirt. Japan's like, that's risky territory. That's
really?
Too much for us. Yeah, all of the Wonders are in there, but not Wonder Pink because she's jumping and has a skirt. And Sakurai is like, some skeevy Stevens out there would try and take advantage of that. So she got the axe.
Is it true that in Japan, cameras don't have phones on them? Someone said, or phones don't have cameras on them. Someone said that, but I'm like, how can they do that? Because of the upskirt photo thing?
I don't think
Japan.
that's a thing, but they do take that a lot more seriously.
Because it
Like,
happens
if
so
you-
often.
Yeah, because it happens so often, and like groping on trains and stuff. They try and take that a lot more seriously.
Well, they have woman-only trains too, right? For just for that reason. I'm pretty sure.
That would not surprise me. I'm not 100%, but that seems correct.
Wow, we sure we topic hopped. How do we fucking begin here? Okay, let's talk about the wonderful World of Warcraft. I didn't do a whole lot. I did some raid with you guys. I did, you know what I did do though? I did some art exploration in Borealis the other day. I was just going around buildings, just staring at art.
Tell me about that.
Well, I realized I've never been in the room, in the Borealis Inn. I've never been in the room above it. I've gone into the back room with the table and chairs, but I've never actually gone to the big bedroom upstairs. I had no idea there even was a bedroom upstairs.
It is an inn, you know.
Yeah, I guess, but I've never explored it for some reason. And there's some art up there that I've never seen anywhere else because it's unique to the Zode. And there's this really, really jank picture of Ajara. I think it's Ajara. It looks like a middle school drawing interpretation of Ajara's face. It just looks really fucking goofy. And I don't know. The body's good. It's just the face looks so wrong. There's also some cool tide sage art of tentacles coming out of waters, and I've never seen it anywhere else. So then I went to Dalaran and I stared at their art, and I went to our favorite spot where that lady with the wine glass walking around. Remember her?
Oh hell yeah, girl! That's some old shit.
Her staring at that fucking whale sliced in 8 pieces. So then I I literally just went all around Dalaran, all around Borealis, just staring at art for 2.5 hours. So I'm kind of an expert in the field, you know? And then we had Achievement Raid, but I feel like we're going to talk about that a whole lot more and what we did at Raid. Because boy, we got a lot to talk about that, don't we now? Don't we now, Immune?
Yeah, not the biggest fan.
He was getting mad. Okay, but I guess I'll just let Aaron. Aaron, what about you? What'd you do in the World of Warcraft this week?
The World of Warcraft this week. As always, I started my efforts with Papa Steen and said, "Get out of here, kid. It would make too much sense to level you. It's time." So I hopped back into the world of Windwalking with Wiggles. And you know what? I changed up my talents. I changed up how I play it. And I'm actually enjoying it a lot more than I thought.
Whoa.
What's his current status right now? He's max level or no?
He is max level, and he was kept up to date to mid Najatar. He has all the Najatar quests done, but not Mechagon. And I'm like, well, that's fine by me. I don't have to go to Mechagon. So he just got his cape today, and he's 420, 425 right now. He is pretty cool, except that I have a major omission on Blizzard's part that I'm going to call them out for right now.
Oh shit, get him.
So a major part of being a monk, I don't know if it's specific to Windwalking, but I've seen it on that and Brewmaster, is when you kill people, they will drop a chi sphere, which will give you chi and sometimes heal you. But it is spawned from the heart of the creature that dies at their height level, which is above Wigglestein's head a lot, because he's so small, because he's a gnome, which means mid-fight I have to spam jump sometimes to catch the chi sphere.
Wait, it doesn't fall to the ground? It just hovers
it
where the
doesn't
heart
fall
was?
to the ground. Yeah, it hovers where the middle of the model is, so I have to jump to catch them.
Oh my god, I feel like that feels like an oversight. You shouldn't be a handicap just because you're playing a shorter class.
Yeah, and I don't know if they can do it too, but Goblin Monk I think is a thing, or Volpera Monk could be a thing. They're just as small. I feel like you have actually I don't know if there's Mechanome Monk, but if that was a thing, that's 3 to 4 of them that are the same height. Fix that. Make it so we can grab them.
Maybe you're one of the only gnome monks out there and no one's reported the problem. If someone just did it and was oh, fuck this, I'm not playing this, and they didn't say anything. Aaron, you gotta speak up. You got to email Ian. We got to blast him on the pod, tweet at him, do everything we can to get Monk's Fix for your little gnome boy.
Come on, I've at my 70th time trying it out, and I actually want to stick with him now. Don't make me leave again.
This is going to be the breaking point this time. Something easily fixable for you.
But that was leveling up him was the majority of my week. Immune, what did you do in the wonderful World of Warcraft?
Admittedly, it was a little bit of a slower week for me. I just mainly did all of my normal things that I've been doing every week, like, all the dailies, trying to grind out the rep now, which is a lot slower. Like, I haven't seen a Paragon bag in a while now, and I really miss that rep buff.
Oh my god. I logged in and I was like, oh, emissaries to do. And I'm like, oh wait, there's no rep buff. So I really don't fucking care anymore.
What's even the point?
So stupid.
Yeah, we got spoiled hard there, but
have they announced what the replacement is yet?
No. Is there just not going to be a replacement? I guess they're just going to be like, this is it. You guys, this is all you have. Enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they don't need to replace it with anything. It was a gift to begin with, but, it is sorely missed.
You know what? No, they need to replace it with something. Give me a reason to do different content or old content that I've stopped doing. Because man, I did so many world quests. If you give us like an honor boost, I'll do so many more battlegrounds. It'll be great.
It's gonna be like a pet battle XP boost.
No, and it's gonna last for like 6 months. It's gonna be the longest one.
Until Shadowlands, level your battle pets. Ugh. There's not really much more that they can do to make me ever feel like I need to do pet battling. But I did do a pet battle today during one of my emissaries because I thought it'd be easier, and it was fine, but whatever.
I love how you said there's nothing they can do to make me more pet battles, though I did do one today because it made me for the quest.
Because it was easier.
Wait, which pet battle was it?
It was like some boar in the middle of Storm Song that was there for a world quest.
Have you guys ever done the bee one in Storm Song with the 3 bees?
I have never done a pet battle.
Wait, not even. It's easy rep.
Not even for rep. I leveled slower because I don't do them. It's not out of like I hate them or like I never will. It's just like I never bothered to learn, and I'm okay with that.
I don't think you're alone in that, though. I think there's a lot of people who just never touched it. I honestly didn't touch it until this expansion, and I don't really know why I started, but now I just have like 3 level 25 pets that are like a decent enough comp that like I can beat most things with easily. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't ever do them.
Yeah, it's all about getting the ones. It mostly our lady in Draenor, the lady who gives you a pet stone. She helps so much because if you just log in on a new 120 and you go there, she'll be like, "Oh, here's a pet battle stone in your garrison." It makes them max level. So I got like 10 of those, and I just got 10 max levels, and I've been using that crew ever since.
But as I said, it was not all that interesting of a week for me. Besides, yesterday we started doing our achievement run through the Eternal Palace. And I think we're going back tonight to finish them off or something. I don't know. I guess we can talk about that. I'm kind of a little upset about it.
Same.
Oh man, there's a lot of conflict and strife in that achievement run. Some poor people not getting their achievements, and I got a whisper or two about some of the achievements as well.
Ooh, some juice. Do tell, my cup is waiting.
It was just honors saying that he didn't want the achievement where you have to do the kneel or the emote at Ajara. He said, I don't even want this emote. And I was like, why? Don't you want the mount? And he's like, well, I didn't get the lap one, the one we had to run around in 6 succession laps around Rage of Ajara. Is that what the boss is called? Rage?
Radiance of Ajara.
There's too many of Ajaras. And I was like, but we're going to do it again probably to get people the achievement. And he goes, I just don't want this one. And I was like, okay, honors. Apparently, I think it's because, so in the achievement, what you have to do is you have to do like, it was what, 4 things? Slash kneel, slash grovel, slash curtsy, slash something else. Whenever she does
applause and something like that, yeah.
Whenever she does one of her decrees, and apparently it's very similar to the Firelands achievement, which I think we all have, where you have to kneel when the guy does the fire attack. Remember, we had like a small group go in there. I don't know if you were there, Aaron. I know you were there, Immune.
Yeah, I remember this.
Only the Penitent, something like that. And I think apparently he had a bad experience doing that back in Cataclysm, and this reminded him of it so much that he basically said, I don't want to do this. I'm not even going to look at it.
Wow. I wonder if he got like bad news while he was kneeling 10 years ago. Like he's like getting ready to kneel in front of the Fire Lord, and it's like, honors. Yes, they call him honors like his personal family does. Your pet snake died.
Pop fell in the bathtub. It's over. But
your Pop's hip popped out, and he goes, no. And then Fire Spider beat him up.
I will never slash kneel again.
But yeah, that was definitely one of the achievements that I did not get last night because I didn't understand the assignment.
Well, right from the get-go, we had a little bit of a rough time because nobody said quickly enough not to attack the marked mobs when you walk into the Eternal Palace. So we were blowing up one of the mobs that was marked, and Gronk was screaming, "Stop hitting this! Stop hitting this! We need this for the achievement!"
Yeah, so I guess the achievement during the first boss is that there are these 3 elite, like, mobs that are before the first boss, and you need to take their pack leader to the boss and fight the boss with them all alive but present. So when we were clearing trash the first time around, we accidentally almost nuked them all down.
And that, I feel like, is mostly just because we don't explain what we're supposed to be doing until we're actually at the boss.
Right.
I don't know. I wasn't too upset by it, but it was like, don't kill this yet. And then we got the things ready, and I was like, well, I don't know what to do now, so I guess I'm going to throw fireballs at this thing. And then I didn't really get the context until we already had to reset.
Yeah, like, I get if these things are marked, but I don't know. Tell us that this is part of the achievement before. I'm not looking this up. This is on you guys to lead us through this. I'm not following along at home. These are all new to me.
Yeah, like, I only mildly want to be there / get this achievement or mount, and, like, I'm not going to read up on these achievements beforehand, so, like, give me a 20-second summary before we start doing them, please.
I mean, it went pretty smoothly for the most part, right? We killed the first one. That one's easy. Let's just kill her with the mobs in the room.
The second one was the big fish boss, but also diving exploration simulator.
Ooh, the big fish boss.
Oh, the big fish boss.
That one was fun, though, because of like treasure hunt and find like crabs and little clams.
I did like, though, so when you collected the clams, in order to keep track of it for the achievement, you had to manually enter plus and then the number you had. But some people were like adding little extra bits of flair. Like someone was like, +2 clams, and I found a little crab too. And I was like, how did you have time to type all that?
It's like, I'm losing health pretty fast down here from the, like, passive AoE that the boss is dealing out. Like, I want to, like, type +1 and, like, quickly and resurface to get healed. Like, come on now.
My favorite part was, because I don't know, like, shorthands as much, to do plus, I have to hold shift, and I obviously hit the button there because it's the alternative one. But I'm like, that's 2 hands off the keyboard that I can't fight because I have to hit the word, or I have to hit the plus symbol.
You're just stuck there trying to figure out, where's my plus?
Oh, it's not one that I use when typing very often.
Oh, I forgot that Cubby was there. Aaron's lady girlfriend was in the raid for her first ever raid with us.
She was quite excited. Although she got very mad at the end like the rest of us, but we'll get there.
Okay, so then we got the treasure hunting. What was after the treasure hunts?
It was Ashvane, right?
Ugh.
No, it was Radiance, which is, as we mentioned earlier, you had to run 6 consecutive laps around the boss, which is in a giant ring if you've never fought it. And if you fall into the water that is in the center and all around, it would knock your buff off.
Also, your buff gets knocked off in a few other ways that we were not told about, including strafing, including backpedaling, including forward running, but then turning around to avoid a tornado like I did.
Yeah, I turned around to make sure Cubby Bub was okay, and she raced past me. But that half a toe that Growlina put backwards put her on lap 0 when I was on lap 5.
Now, when you guys turned around, did you guys full stop and like turn and look? Like, how did you guys do it?
No, like as I just said, I never stopped moving. I never even stopped running forward. I just like W keyed, but then like went around a tornado, and then the tornado like started doubling back. So then I had to like keep going. So I did a full circle running forward. So I ended up facing the wrong way for part of it.
I was trying to figure it out because I also did that for a tornado, but like I just said, I made a big circle like you just said, but I didn't lose the buff. So it's probably just fucking random and shitty bugged.
Yeah, because Kata, who was tanking on our Demon Hunter, also just said that she literally only ever strafed. What is that, like Q?
Oh, I don't know. I unbound that key for my abilities.
I also did, which maybe I shouldn't, but like whatever.
All I know was that Cubby Bub, being a rogue, has a bunch of movement abilities and has the chain. She was done like 7 minutes before me. It was just goofing on me the whole time, especially because I had to restart.
Okay, so that was, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that achievement was probably one of the most stressful things I've had to do in a raid. Like, probably especially than, like, our mythic bosses. Because I'm a fucking Death Knight. I am the slowest motherfucker out there. Other than the priest, who was literally next to me the whole time. Me and Immune were in the back the entire fucking time, just running with our one speed boost every, like, 40 seconds. It was horrible. I hit the halfway point.
Do either of you have a way, if you get knocked up in the air, do you have a way to try and save yourself?
No.
Nope.
Not really. I mean, I guess I could stop myself from falling immediately down by like levitating myself, but I still fall eventually. It's just like at a slight angle, so it might save me. But luckily, I never actually got hit by anything, so I was fine. Besides the fact that I, ran a circle, I guess. So I ended up running a total of like 9 or 10 laps, I believe. And even after I got the achievement tick, I don't know about you guys, but I still just ran in a circle the entire time until the boss was dead.
Yeah, I never stopped moving.
Can I tell you something dark and dirty?
What? What did you do?
As soon as I saw that the two of you, myself and Cubby Bub, had the achievement, I started launching Fire Blast at Radiance because I was like, I don't want to fuck this up. And there were definitely members of the raid who possibly were still running, but I'm like, I'm going to end this now. Everyone I know got the achievement. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, because we were not sure that like if you died, whether or not it would fail it for you. So, but it turns out I think it did, right? It still counted.
I don't know. I never stopped moving either. I just kept running. I ran like 25 laps.
So yeah, that one was stressful, but I didn't get as angry on that one. I was a little angry that for like no real good reason it took away my buff, but I was willing to move past that until we got to a later boss.
Well, I hit probably 5 or 6 tornadoes, and every fucking hit, I was like, please God, don't throw me in the fucking water. Don't let me lose this. And so on the the boss literally had like maybe 3 health left as Aaron's apparently fire blasting it, which was good because I got launched from a tornado and I was being launched towards the pool that Radiance sits in. And I'm like, fuck, no, I'm going to lose the buff. And as I'm falling into Radiance, he actually apparently bounces you back out of him. So I fell into him, and then I bounced off of him, and then I started flying towards the water on the outside, and I'm like, no! And as I'm flying, the boss dies. So your fireball saved my life.
This past Memorial Day, remember true heroes like me.
So, next up is Ashvane, correct?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, so this boss, what we had to do was the parts where you have 3 pairs of raiders marked with the S right above their head. You need to surround Lady Ashvane with them, so that like the beam that connects you guys actually like goes through her. And I feel like on paper it's easy, but things like this where you have to coordinate a bunch of people and have a bunch of people know what they need to do are not our raid group's strengths. So
I saw a lot of tanks pulling her away at the last minute like a banana peel, and it's like,
yeah,
I think you can. I think you can hold her there. It's not like any of these attacks are doing anything.
I distinctly remember it happening when the two of us were paired, and I like saw. I'm like, yeah, we got this. We are like perfectly like positioned. It's gonna go right through her. And then at the last second, the tanks move her, so then all of the beams missed, I'm pretty sure. Well, or at the very least, ours.
I saw that and I was like, oh fuck, we gotta do this again. And then we had to do it again like 18 times because we have people who haven't raided with us in forever. Prolt came back. Solstice apparently came back. When the fuck did he come back? He said he was gonna play WoW for like another year or 2 years.
They said the name Capone, and I was like, that took me back because that's a name I haven't heard of for actual years.
Okay, they were saying that Capone was a dick. I don't remember him being a dick, do you? I remember him as the guy who did like the gambling for us. Like he used to be our gambling guy.
I also don't really remember him saying much of anything, really.
Yeah, he would just gamble and then he would say something occasionally. Like he was a bit of a smart ass, but like he wasn't mean. I don't know. He got blasted last night and I was like, and they were like, I'm glad he left the guild. And I'm like, but he didn't leave the guild. He just didn't get the notice that we moved yet. He's still in the old guild. He could come over any minute, guys. Calm down. Also, my favorite and least favorite part about Ashvane is that her fucking trinket is still relevant for so many people.
People are actually lining up to be like, no, I really need that.
Dude, that trinket would have been my best trinket because an eye level 430 razor coral is literally like my second best trinket, but the fact that it had a socket made it my number one trinket. So I wanted Honor's trinket that he got so fucking bad, and everyone and their fucking mom rolled for it, and the person who got it doesn't even play WoW. Like, they play WoW, but they don't play it that much, and it was on an alt. So I'm like, come on, man. I wasn't gonna be that guy that's like, give it to raiders who need it, because it's an achievement fun run for a 430 trinket, but whatever.
Yeah, it sounds like this meant for fun achievement run has tilted all of us in its own way.
Is next Immune's favorite boss?
I believe so. It's the Spicy Orgazoa.
Oh, I forgot that one, so never mind. I was thinking of the one that came after.
Yeah, I just have all the greatest hits right in a row. But okay, so during Orgazoa, after you leave the first room, apparently there's this really tiny little egg that somebody needs to pick up. And as soon as they pick it up, it reduces their movement speed by 30% and they cannot use any of their abilities. Also, apparently you need to grab it within like 0.5 seconds or it disappears.
I shimmered into the wall every time, not trying to catch it, but like just trying to see what it even was. I never saw it. I stood next to the people who picked it up and I was like, wow, did you see this?
Yeah, I also never saw it, so I do not know either. But anyways, I'm the only priest in this raid group, as it has been for probably the last 2 raid tiers, it feels like. And for some reason, I was the only person that they told had any responsibility, and if I didn't do specific things, we were bound to lose this, because apparently I'm the only person that could speed boost the egg carrier. So like I was in charge of placing feathers all down the ramp, and then also making it down first and leap of faithing the egg carrier to safety. First off, I'd been placing feathers every single time that we do this. It's just that when you have 20 people running, like somebody's going to take the feather either on purpose or on accident, so whoever was the egg carrier wasn't getting them properly. So that was frustrating. So then I started waiting for like a little bit more of the people to go by, but then I was at risk of not really being in front of the egg carrier, which happened several times as well, and then I'm like, well, now I'm just completely useless.
Yeah, you were always behind them when you were like, I want to wait for him. But you were a slow ass priest, so you waited and they lapped you.
Well, also, it's because I don't know what I'm waiting for, because I never saw the egg spawn.
I think the reason why they were having you do it was because in the chat, did you see the achievement chat pop up? Because when, you know, she has the add-on that's like, achievement tracker for this. And the tracker says, priests are great for this, because they can pull and drop feathers. So they're like, oh, immune. See that? This is you.
Yeah, and then after telling me for like the 25 minutes that we were hitting our head on this that I needed to do these things, it ended up not mattering because there was a warlock gate that sent him to the finish, which was longer than my leap of faith anyways, and then I ended up dying because I didn't make it. So there you go.
He was tilted. He was so mad.
Well, I'm mad because like why should I feel like this entire achievement is dependent on me? Well, there are other people who could help. Like there are other people who are already speed boosting him, and then obviously that warlock gate is better than anything I could have done.
There was also a ghost wolf who he never got hands on the egg, but I assume he could have ran faster as the ghost wolf. But after like 2 times, it's like, nope, I'm never gonna see that egg. And it was just like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, I can't really blame him. I never saw it either, but...
Yeah, I never saw the fucking egg either. So I still don't know what to look for. So yeah, if I was him, I would be like, nope, not me. Somebody else fucking do it. Ooh, but now the one that tilted the most people, right? Is it this one? Are we finally there?
Yep.
Yep, we're up to the Queen's Court next, where, as we alluded to earlier, during each of the decrees, you're supposed to do various different things. You're supposed to target Ajara and either kneel, grovel, applaud, or salute, I believe, depending on which decree is currently being cast upon the raid. And I just want to first off start by saying that before this achievement, I did not know that Ajara was in this area.
Yes!
Neither did I. I thought it was her ghostly voice traveling through the halls. But no, she's literally just up on a cliff.
Yeah, I just never looked up, I guess.
Yeah, because they never gave us a reason to look up. The bosses are on the ground in front of us. Like, we're not going to look up at her beautiful... She has, like, a beautiful waterfall behind her. Like, it was a really cool-looking scene. I wish that they would have just, like, directed our eyes towards it at one point during the raid.
Yeah, so before this happened, basically, I think everyone took, like, 5 minutes and made their own macros. I know Slide and I did not make our own macros because I knew for a fact I would accidentally press the incorrect one. So I just opted to, have her focused and then click on her and then quickly type whatever I needed to.
Damn, that's really risking it. I think Cubby Bub asked like, "Oh, do we just type?" And I said, "Fucking, I had never made a macro in my life." I said, "I'm looking up a tutorial right now because I can't type for shit."
I knew I would have pressed the wrong fucking button. I knew I would, or hit it twice. I always hit buttons twice. So I was like, I gotta fucking type. That's it, baby. Mavis Beacon taught me well. She trained me for this moment. I was prepared.
Yeah, and I never felt like I was unable to type it in time. It's just that for some reason I overthought it, and I thought on, I believe, the groveling one, that it wasn't targeting on me in particular, so I wasn't going to do it. And I also did not know that in order to get the achievement, you need to personally do all 4 of them when it happens. I thought it just had to be that you finish all of them that were available to you on you during the fight. So like if you kill it really fast, then like just doing 1 is fine. But no, you have to do all 4. And if one of them is just cast to the raid in general, you do it.
The hardest part is not dying, because the problem is people are so focused on doing like the emote that they don't actually follow the decree that they've been given. So when she does the decree for like stand together, people just didn't stand and they died. It's just like, oh no, the achievement, like, it's done. Though apparently if you get rezzed, you can still do it and it goes on a loop. But the odds of getting it before we kill it is very low.
Yeah, I know that in particular, I think Aaron, I think you died to this and I know Cass did as well, and a few other people, probably like 4 or 5, like every single time that this mechanic popped up, the one where you're supposed to have people stack on you so you can soak the giant damage, but no one did any soaking.
Yeah, the big guy ran and punched me, like he did like a lunging punch and killed me. And admittedly, I didn't super remember what to do. But I was like, I'm just going to go over here. This is like 2 raid tiers ago. This shouldn't one-hit me. And it sure enough did. And Cubby Bub had the same thing. She had another thing where like people are supposed to stack on you or something like that. And then she just got one hit by whatever that thing was. And it was a tense moment in our home. We just kind of sat there, head in our hands, looking at the computers like, die, don't finish it, don't finish it.
Yeah, and I stayed alive. I just didn't do it correctly, so it didn't matter.
Well, I have a dark secret because I stayed alive and I completed the achievement. I did it, boys! I did the
Girl, we
achievement!
been done new.
I did it! I did it! Ah!
Boo!
I was over here literally moments before Queen's Court. I was like, this is a nice fun run. Everyone's bringing their alt, laying there on the floor. I was slamming the desk like, why didn't people bring their mains to this thing? We have to take this shit seriously.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we're gonna do it because this achievement run is we only have 2 bosses left. So hopefully after we do it on heroic today, we just go back and do the other ones on normal, right? It's only 2 bosses to do, and we can
Because people
do it a
have
lot
to do
easier.
the Radiance one anyways. And
Yeah.
other people other than us died or failed to do this.
Like 10 people died and like more failed. So I don't think even it seemed like it was less than half of the people got the achievement. So
Yeah, I was gonna say Slide's in the minority here for that.
wow, what are you saying about me, huh?
I'm telling you to get off of this here podcast.
Yeah. Get.
Fine, I'm leaving. I'm still here. Don't worry, I can still record this.
Well, I need to get my own achievement. Made pasta. 20 points. So, Growlina, take over for like a minute and a half. Hey there, it's Growl. It's your girl. Back at it again with the weekly interview. This week I'm speaking with Grinchgrin, who is seriously bummed out about the cancellation of this year's Blizzcon. Grinch, why are you so glum? Well, I was looking forward to going and seeing some of the Shadowland changes live. I went last year and the demo seemed really cool, so I wanted a chance to play the newest version. I see. Truly an unfortunate story. So what do you think this sudden cancellation means for the state of StarCraft 2? I don't know. I don't play StarCraft at all. Do you think they'll be unveiling any new generals for multiplayer? Do you think we'll be getting any new story missions? I really don't know. I don't really have any interest in StarCraft anymore. Hey, listen, nobody does. But I gotta hit my quota so this show doesn't look biased. I have to do it with HOTS all the time. So how about you just say a StarCraft word and we'll consider it done? Okay. Terran. You heard it here, folks. The dire and direct StarCraft opinions you need to know. Till next time, Space Cadets, it's been Growl. Thank you, Growlina. I can't wait to listen to that at my favorite video game convention.
Well, too bad. If it's BlizzCon, BlizzCon is canceled this year. Officially.
It's actually a Penny Arcade Expo East, but still.
Yeah, it is official now. BlizzCon 2020 has been canceled due to the coronavirus.
Which I feel like was the only move they honestly could have made. I mean, like, I wasn't gonna go anyway, so what's the point, you know? I was like, if they have it, I'm not going, because I know that the gamers aren't gonna fucking wash after themselves and not get me sick, so it's good they canceled it, because I wasn't gonna be there.
I was about to say, I hate to call them out because I'm one of them, but some of the grossest and grubbiest humans on this earth are hashtag gamers.
Yeah, and that probably lines up with when we'll be having a second wave of coronavirus hit us very hard because people don't take this shit seriously.
So that's a big bummer. I mean, the one good thing about this is that I believe now we're probably going to get news about what's upcoming a lot faster because Ian has a little Shadowlands reveal on Tuesday, June 9th at 9 a.m. Pacific. And he's going to talk about all kinds of shit for Shadowlands.
Ooh.
So maybe they'll just keep leaking information out slowly and giving us like a nice little constant drips of talk about. That'll be cool. Apparently there's also rumors. I don't know. I read the statement. I don't remember her saying anything about, oh, here it is. About how they might do a virtual BlizzCon-esque thing early next year.
I don't know what that means exactly, but it might be that they just launch out demos through the Blizzard client for people to play, or is that too much to expect?
I mean, they did that 2 BlizzCons ago. They just said, hey, look at your BNet. Now you can do Classic, when that was a thing.
It'd probably just be a lot of like different videos about different things coming up, because there's a lot of like there's so much Diablo stuff that we don't know that they can talk about still. There's so much stuff about Shadowlands they can reveal, and Overwatch 2. Like think of like we know so little about like Overwatch 2 and Diablo, right? Like they just very base information. So there's probably gonna be a lot of like videos about that with the devs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the esports? That's the big thing. I mean, like on the one hand, they can do esports virtually, except the problem is when you have teams from different countries, you can't really get good internet for like a Chinese team versus like a European team. Like, what are you gonna do there?
Well, they're still having OWL currently, aren't they?
I don't know. I don't keep up with that.
Yeah, admittedly, I have not thought of OWL in months.
I'm like 90% sure they are, because sometimes when I play Overwatch, it says, watch live now.
Oh, well, that's something.
Well, looks like there's something good on the horizon then.
Man, you know what this means, though?
Maybe they'll do this, they'll do the old thing.
Dude, the BlizzCon next year is going to be so fucking hard to get into. The tickets are going to sell it immediately, because people who were going to go this year are going to feel bummed and left out. And just like, it's the allure of going to the first BlizzCon since, they didn't have one the year before. It's going to suck.
Yeah, and they're going to have all of this stuff that will be on the cusp of coming out, because I assume if they have like Blizz.com 2021, it'll just be news about the stuff. So probably 2022 will be when things are actually launching.
Yep. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, we gotta talk about these fucking Void Elf and Blood Elf shit that's going on here. What the fuck is going on? I couldn't believe this when I saw this while I was pooping.
So, as far as I can tell, in a bout of giving people some content without actually being like, you guys got us, you're right, they're making it that Alliance Void Elves can now have a pale complexion, much like the air quotes Caucasian skin, and can have blue eyes. So we're not getting high elves, we're getting white-skinned, blue-eyed Void Elves. And it is setting the boards on fire.
Yeah, I mean, it's because they're basically giving everybody what they want in a way, I guess. They're just swapping. So, like, the Void Elf has inherited the Blood Elf skin colors and vice versa. Except I don't see the purple Void Elf skin as Blood Elf, which is like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But then also, it's just weird that we get the pale-ass Blood Elf skin. Like, it's going to look like we have Blood Elves on the Alliance. There's going to be, like, almost no distinction between them.
That was actually a point raised when I was going through the boards, was someone said, I'm not ready for 90% of the game to look the same. There's just going to be twiggy elves everywhere now.
But yeah, if the Horde, or if most of the Horde are going to be Blood Elves, you know that the Alliance boys have wanted to be like, oh, well, when I play Horde, I'm going to be the pretty one, right? But now we can be the pretty one. It's like it's just going to be all elves all the time.
An interesting thing that I'm seeing, and I don't know if it's just some dudes on the board, but people are saying, like, now that the Alliance has air quote high elves, I'm thinking, and their big prevailing theory is, we want Blood Elf druids.
No, that can't happen.
And I'm like, I don't think they do that, but I don't know.
Blood Elves are like the least naturey class, like, in the game. Like, they would not want to get dirty and down with being an animal. There's no fucking way.
No, they purposely created their zone so that you could not even have any nature with being phased in their city. You literally need to phase out, go through a load screen to even see a tree.
Well, it's interesting how quickly the goalposts are shifted. That is the new thing. It doesn't have as much veracity as give us high elves, but being a board expert, I see it on the horizon. People are going to be getting upset about it in the coming months.
From a lore perspective, though, it does make sense from what little lore we have of the Void Elves in the first place. But because they're just outcasted Blood Elves, right? Obviously, they're not all going to reach the same level of like Void corruption, right? Like it makes sense that we'd have some just regular looking Blood Elves walking around as Void Elves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you have Illyria, who still kind of looks like a Blood Elf, but with spooky eyes, right? So.
Yeah, so it's just like, whatever. It's just gonna be very jarring seeing naked-ass Blood Elf, Void Elves in Borellis just dancing around on our mailboxes.
Yeah, because you know that's coming.
There's gonna be a lot of race changes coming, that's all I'm saying.
My mother is going to be horrified. Finally, the World of Warcraft will look like that news report from 2007 she saw.
Wait, what was the news report again?
It was like... Perverts are turning to online entertainment. The World of Warcraft is a multiplayer game where you can take off all of your clothes and show titillation to others. And I distinctly remember it was a newscaster guy he had a naked night elf and was doing the Alzi dance. And it was like, and children as young as 10 to 11 can see this every day.
And she's like,
there was also a news report about like secret perverts are playing as women characters so they can see their naked butts. And so she would not be happy that my character of choice is a lady.
Gamers truly exposed for what they are. Butt starer-atters.
Female Draenei are just pretty, okay?
Just kidding, Mom. I'm a name starer-atter.
I mean, are you saying that you don't ever stare at your butt as your character? You don't ever like get her naked and just stare at her tail?
No, but I do be looking at those hooves.
Ew.
Those clickety-clacks, baby.
Oh, I forgot. You know what I was thinking about, Aaron? I mentioned it to Immune. Back to Najadar in the Eternal Palace. You know how we're walking through the palace, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's in some parts we're walking through it, there's no water in there. We're just walking like regular walking. Did Ajara, she intentionally drained the water, right? To lure us down? I'm assuming?
Mm-hmm.
Because normally it'd all be underwater. But do you think the guards are just pissed? Oh, great. Now we have to walk around.
Because they have to like... They have to use like their tentacles to get around.
They're like, this land was designed for swimming around. Now I have to slither around the fucking palace. Like it would take they can't just jump off the edge. Like, they can't swim down to the pits. They have to take their long-ass ramps down there. Which begs the question.
The entirety of Najjatar makes me upset because of that. It's like, why did he... I hate to be the guy, but like, why did you do any of this, Ashara? You could have just pulled us into the sea and we would have been done.
Because she
Why give us any sort of advantage?
She wanted us to free us off so she could stop him, say suck his dick, take his power or something, right? That was it. She wanted to take his power.
Surely she was doing one of those three.
Ooh.
Okay, gang, I'm not gonna lie. There's no easy way to segue into this one. I'm pulling a time warp.
Whoa.
I gotta look directly into the camera because there's no funnies I can do here. Everyone knows about Ezra Chatterton, the Make-A-Wish child who visited Blizzard in 2007 and received several things in his visit. In 40 seconds, I want you to name the honors that they gave to Ezra. Are you ready?
Yeah, I guess.
Sure.
And go.
He got a touring quest line.
He's in the game, I believe, which I think is what Slide just said. I think they also may have, like, maxed his level or something?
Fuck. They gave him a pillow pet. They let him voice act, and he's like, have you seen my dog?
Oh,
that's a dead child that you hear. Isn't that haunting? I'm sorry, but that's kind of haunting.
I didn't know it was his voice.
Yeah. He's just... It's just him. It's just...
He probably got to meet someone cool, too.
Oh, he had to hang out with Chris Metzen. He got to eat lunch with Chris Metzen. They gave him a little toy. They gave him a trophy. They gave him an award. They gave him... Have you seen my dog?
Oh, Lord. like I said, there's no funny way to go into this one.
Yeah, I know.
Right now, it's a tie. They did max his level.
Fuck.
He is in the game. He did voice an NPC, and they created an NPC for him, which it counted as on his Wowipedia entry, it counted as a separate thing. So for the tiebreaker, on the count of 3, he was the first to receive a highly sought after mount. Which one was it?
He got the love rocket. He got a Kodo.
What's it called?
He was dead before Invincible came
I was
out,
gonna say
I'm
Invincible,
sure, right?
But wait, what about the one that's in Karazhan, that horse thing?
I think isn't this all classic? This is not vanilla.
It's BC.
It's BC.
Oh.
It's a bird.
The Firebird from... Wait,
No,
Ashes?
that's Kata.
That's Kata?
What's Kata? I
It might
don't
have
know
been
any.
Kata.
I don't know BC mounts. It's a bird. He got
Wait, is it Ashes of Valar then, or no?
Yep. Immune got it. I was just trying to find the specific name. He was the first one in 2007 to receive Ashes of Alar, which he got to use on a private server for 7 months.
Wait, they didn't actually let him like have it?
I think he got to have it in his thing. I don't think because of it not going live yet, I don't think he could use it on his account.
Oh, damn, that's some rough stuff. Well, I mean, he got the hookup. Like, at least they, he made a wish, and they really fucking came through. That's a whole lot of shit he got. It's
They
cool.
also let him craft a huge bow that is called, like, the ancestral bow of, and then his name. So Immune won that one.
Woo! Finally, I've been on such a lost streak here.
And all it took was knowing knowledge about a dead child.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't really make any funnies about this one. Can't. There's nothing. It's just sad. Anyway,
Sexiest NPC.
I was gonna say we need like a segue. Oh my god, no, he can never. No, never mind. I can't even make this joke. It's so bad.
No, like we could just not do sexiest this year in reverence. I mean, this week in reverence.
What, just end the podcast because we can't make any more funnies on the on the pod? Is that what you're suggesting?
I don't know.
Well, shit, we're in a tough pickle here. I don't really feel comfortable getting sexy right now, so maybe we'll shelve that one.
Just for the
But
record,
you know what?
It wasn't him. So he wasn't the stump. So don't think it was him.
Lord,
it was somebody else. God,
no, it was not him.
I thought that's the path you were going down, and I was just going to ignore it. So
no, it's somebody else. I wanted to make it clear to the audience that we were not doing it because it's him. It's somebody else. I promise. Could someone tell a funny anecdote? We gotta lighten the mood here.
The only funny anecdote I can think of is how we used to make fun of his voice.
We didn't know. Nobody told us. Nobody told us.
No.
yeah, because when we were
Okay.
doing those quests for the first time, like it sounds different than anything else in the game, and it sounded so off that we were like, "What the fuck is this?" And then we're all laughing to ourselves. But then we later discovered why it sounded like that, and then we felt like assholes.
Man, we blasted that voice for so long. Is there not like a
For years.
They need to have like a sign or something nearby so people know, because we can't be the only people that's happened to. There's no way. Did you guys catch the latest episode of Family Guy?
No.
That quagmire, he really got into a caboodle.
Brian, he's the dog.
Okay, I got something real. I'm going to take this empty airtime here that would normally be for sexiest and say, I'm so sorry, a dude from 4th grade. You told me a Google was a number, and I said you were dumb. I just learned like 2 months ago a Google actually is a number.
Isn't it Google Plat? No, you're right. It is just a Google. How many zeros is it? Do you know? Do you remember?
10. Or no, it's 100.
Wait, so are you going to like apologize to him personally? Like, are you going to find him on Facebook right now?
No. I sure hope he enjoys Blizzard Entertainment's World of Warcraft and listening to podcasts, because this is his one.
What if every night he's like, God, that Aaron, it's a Google's a number. How could he be so stupid? How can he not know this?
He's just hitting a punching bag. Why has he closed his mind to the truth?
Something I do before every raid when we're going into Nyalotha is I have an ability called Abomination, and it spawns a big fat abomination guy that hits people. And I'll sit at the entrance before I can run into the portal, and I'll cast Abomination on the horde below and pull them towards me and beat them up. And then I spread my diseases, and they can't use the summoning stone to summon their friends because they have a disease on them that just ticks and ticks and ticks. So every raid night, I'm making horde people's lives inconvenient. That's my anecdote. Thank you.
Wow, what a true hero of the Alliance.
Okay, Immune, your time. What do you have for your anecdote?
Well, I don't have an anecdote, but I feel like it has been an appropriate amount of time for us to just properly move on into our top toot, bottom boot, or medium of the
What a
week.
fucking cop-out.
That's me. And I guess I will start it off this week with the obvious bottom boot that I had already previously talked about in this podcast. It is definitely the Orgozoa fight. I got very tilted during that. I was very upset that I felt like I was being singled out individually about the reason why we were failing to get this achievement when it obviously was not. I wasn't even needed for the achievement to be obtained, so.
I feel that.
That was my bottom boot this week. Slidewhistle, what do you have this week?
So when I was in Dalaran looking at some paintings, I found myself a top toot of my week. So I'm just trying to find the fucking paintings, and there's this weird coffee grinder behind the bar in like the Dalaran Inn that you can click on, and I'm like, what? And I clicked on it, and it didn't do anything, but like it like made like an animation. So I looked it up, and apparently nobody knows what this clickable's still for, like to this day. Like there's probably a secret tied to it, and they don't know what it does. And then I got into a rabbit hole where it found me another secret, where there's a goblin shoe shine vendor who will shine your shoes and give you a toy called the shoe shine kit, which I decided I immediately wanted, but it's only available at like certain hours of the day. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get this secret. I just love finding secrets like that. Like, or I guess I didn't find it, but finding about secrets like that.
Borealis has like a million zillion secret things that we don't know about. Like, I feel like I see a new wild thing every day.
Yeah, I mean, it's so jam-packed, and imagine the areas of Borealis that we don't even go to, right? Like the other like 3/4 of the map that we just don't venture to.
Yeah, and that's what they said, like, before this expansion was released, right? They said that Borealis in particular had a lot of secrets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how many of them are still out there that just have not been discovered.
Yeah, I would love if I wonder if they have like a count, like at Blizzard, like, okay, we have 6 secrets still hidden in like Burden Crusade, like no one's found these yet. You know, like that'd be a pretty cool tracker.
Do you think they celebrate when somebody finds them?
Oh, hell yeah. Because can you imagine putting in a secret and then nobody ever finding it, and so your time and effort was just wasted completely? Fuck that. What about you, Aaron? What's your top toot, medium moot, bottom boot?
My top toot is that Cubbybub finally joined us in Raid, and I hope to make that a permanent fixture. We shall raid together, and that way I don't feel bad for not cleaning up Persephone's litter box right at 10 because we'll both be gaming.
Does she have any first raid impressions about anybody, like on the team?
Or raiding in general?
She said she's got to think on it. We will sit here live on the air until she gives me an answer.
We could just leave this as a cliffhanger for next week's episode.
Yes, tune in, everyone, to episode 76 to hear Cubbybub's opinions on Raid.
Yeah, because I guess after tomorrow or after tonight, she'll have a full 2 raid night understanding of people.
She did give us a snippet. She did say it made her feel better knowing that there are a lot of people who didn't know what they were doing.
That is very true, and I feel like that is also very true for any given point of our raiding experiences.
Here. Well, with that, we're fucking leaving. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, if you want to send us your story about the dead Tauren child, send us an email at donotrelenttpod@gmail.com or tweet at us on Twitter at donotrelenttpod. What about you guys? Where are your handles?
You can find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at NewEraAlex, or you can follow our podcast Instagram account on the gram at Do Not Relent.
You can find my old GameSpot account at 6signobito. But if you're looking for current things, you can find me at The Bigacheesy on Twitter and DNR's literary musings at livejournal.donotrelent.com. I wrote a lot of reviews about Naruto games.
I posted on Twitter. Okay, but we're leaving. It's time to get ready for our achievement raid in 50 minutes, which involves me turning on these fans and taking another fucking shower because my ass is sweating. See you guys next week, and remember,
Another down! Do not relent!
Do Not Relent is a podcast of the 3HNC Network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.